not held back a little bit, but not able to help the lanes as much with the kills. I've been surprised Golden Glue and Niski are almost kind of untouched within these games, except for the crazy instance we saw game 2 with the flashes over the wall.
Yeah, unless Golden Glue uses both of his summoner spells in a 1v1, generally they're leaving them be.
Yeah.
I want to see something else out of Liquid this game. I want to see what they're capable of. Rainover has been okay on Gragas, but I feel like this patch is all about Cho'Gath and Maokai.
Yep.
So will they give Leeward Cho'Gath again? And will they switch it up at all themselves?
Also continue to stay with the same crew for Liquid all the way through this series. We do see that this lineup has been something that they like to see on the Rift. That Cho'Gath gets banned out. Second one coming through for Liquid. They
Good.
do not want to deal with it, but also says Rainover is like, I don't want to play it either.
Yeah, Rainover doesn't want to first pick it because that is always an option that Team Liquid would have. Thresh was first picked last game by Envy. There is also a Kalista that has gone unbanned and was early picked in the first game.
Ooh.
There it is. Boom, boom. Akaro's Thresh made a ton of plays. Matt, a very experienced Thresh player himself.
I miss his Bard, not gonna lie. I always enjoyed
Yeah,
him.
me
Bard,
too.
man.
Bard's really good right now, too.
Yeah.
Just never really found his groove with it on the pro scene.
Now it is that Thresh though, sitting at the top. It will be separated from the Kalista as Apollo locks that one in. I actually thought that might have been Piglet's play, but they, like you said, changing it up a little bit. They'll focus the Thresh. What is second pick here for Envy?
Yeah.
Get that jungler.
I mean, they did support Kennen with the Kalista and honestly dominated the lane. It just fell apart a little bit in the late game. Kalista Rakan is another big time combo you can do. So a little bit more conventional for Envy, but still very strong.
A lot of battle dancing. I like it. This was second banned out, second phase ban previously in, I believe, game 1. And that was from Team Liquid. So Envy gets that in their hands this time, deciding, does Rainover bring the Kane pain? It's going to be Tristana probably locked in for now. Piglet still gets that AD carry. So we're looking for possible shield assists from the rest of the map.
Yeah.
What does Golden Glue pick up for the team here?
Trist 3 games in a row, and you don't need to build around Trist to have Trist be an effective pick. A lot of times you'll pick Trist because it can exist against Kalista and can still have a strong laning phase. It just hasn't had those things for Piglet and Matt. Finally, we get to see the Maokai come out. I've been waiting for it, Riv. And they can also move this to the top lane or the jungle, which gives them that type of flexibility.
I like it. Gragas is just floating around this game after seeing quite a bit of play. Want to see him coming in a little bit later. Does Seraph take in the Rumble? It is up there on his playlist. Actually, he's going to lock it in.
Yeah.
All right.
Good amount of damage. A blind pick top laner, but they are confident in the matchups. And remember, Gnar still up. Could ban it away if they want to. Gnar pretty good at poking out the Rumble in mini Gnar form and then all ending in mega Gnar form. So I kind of expect that to be an Envy ban here now that they've shown the Rumble.
Yep. Gnar ban. Answer with something in the mid lane. Hit Niski once. And then possibly hit up what they have in the jungle once more.
Yeah, Sydra's already banned away. Lucian was a ban last game, just so Team Liquid could unlock that Orianna. But in order for that to be bans again, you would have to think that that worked for Team Liquid or was super advantageous. But the Talia versus Orianna matchup felt fine for Niski. So I don't see them really worrying about that, even if Team Liquid want to ban out they already banned out all 3 of the mid laners, so LeBlanc, Syndra, and Lucian.
So Golden Glue can actually get his Galio this game as well.
Oh, that would be something that Envy could pick away here, actually. Galio works very well with Rakan and could still be a good blind pick mid laner. Niski's put the time in on it.
All right, Seraph's Jace. What is the pick here for Apollo? The team is looking for Liquid to grab that mid laner, grab a jungler. And then be on their side, basically need the same.
Yeah, if they don't do Galio here, I feel like Golden Glue probably goes Galio.
Cool.
Classic Graves jungle for Lyra. kind of a spring split throwback, but it does leave that mid lane undecided. Waiting for the counter pick.
Very squishy team from Envy so far.
Yeah.
Sustained about one go through of these fights. If TL puts together a bigger squad, there's Jarvan, there's Gragas that can be picked up.
I mean, they can put together a pretty lethal team composition here. They'd go J4 Galio with the Maokai.
Oh boy.
And that is a tremendous diving force. It's a split of their damage because Maokai and Galio would bring magic. The only danger is that they'd be blind picking a Galio into whatever Niski wants to throw at it, but I think it's worth it.
The takeaway.
Yeah. All right.
Still picking, 4 seconds left. They say Galio, Golden Glue confirms. The team locks it in for Talia.
Just double checking Galio wasn't banned, so they stopped against it.
And Galio make over to Envy.
Yeah, or just go completely unpicked at this point. No. He's been nerfed enough times.
Yeah.
It's bound to happen.
I figured it would be something else, and it is going to be Niski's Cassiopeia, kind of going back between the Syndra, the Cass, the Talia, and these three have been his wheelhouse. We'll see how he can fare up against now Golden Glue's Talia as we head into the match. Much different team coming in from Envy. We have hardly any tanks over here. They're going to have to make things happen quick.
Yeah, and they have to be clean with their initiations, because if they get a little bit messy, you know, with Thresh hooks any of those people, they can die. If Pika starts getting going against a bunch of squishy champions, it's reset city. And Envy doesn't even have that much CC setup this game. When you compare it to last game, everyone on the team able to bring CC or initiate a fight. Seraph, Lyra, low CC. Cassiopeia has the all in the grounding, but just not the same level of control as game 2.
Liquid needing these wins. I mean, you can say it all the time, but at the end of the split here, looking to pull themselves out of that 10th spot, climb up the ladder here. And Envy tied for 4th. Both teams actually have a very hard schedule to end this season out with. Hashtag TL win, hashtag Envy win. Do they start that climb now? We'll see who it is in our game 3.
Yeah. Definitely for Envy, having TSM, COG, and Immortals and C9 all left to play.
Yeah.
So they are tied for 4th, but a lot of those wins have come against teams below them. The vast majority of the wins. More the reason that they need to win this game 3 against Liquid.
All right, we are on the Rift. We'll see how the starts begin. Nothing crazy. Coins actually coming in a little bit more. So Rakan get in there. A little harder to get those relic stacks in as Matt does on Thresh. But also see some Thresh running coins as well to forego the damage you might take in lane. You won't really get that from a Rakan.
Yeah, I think that unless you are a melee tank support, or a Brand or a Zyra, those are the two that I would still go Spell Thieves on. I think all other supports should be starting Ancient Coin right now. The gold generation that it has far outpaces a lot of the other support items. And not to mention it has a cheaper upgrade cost to its Sightstone counterpart. So it's a 1900 gold complete for the Eye of the Oasis item, whereas the other two are 22 and 2300 gold when you complete them. Either way, the one thing that Relic Shield has would be the extra healing it can have to Piglet. But I would still like to see coin from a Thresh.
Gives you a lot more. You don't have to change your position as much in lane to just get that CS. You can really stay in the brush, be where you want to be, do the plays you want to do.
Yeah. It's hard for Thresh to proc the Relic Shield, too, because he's not a melee, so he doesn't get the same bonus.
As a Thresh main, deal with that all the time.
Oh, Rainover, the poor sapling stack, throws a sapling outside the brush. This is not a good start for Rainover in the jungle as Maokai, actually. So Maokai should be able to stack 3 saplings throughout the blue buff and kind of insta-kill the blue without having to use Smite. Not only does he take 10 seconds to kill it, he also uses Smite. So that was a bad start for Maokai jungle.
See if it slows him down. He used to reign over on some pretty fast junglers on that Olaf pace, or his Elise. Let's see what he can provide for the team. Matt heals off the lane to make sure they're not getting level 2'd fast towards the bottom side. It'll be interesting, but take a little damage towards Piglet side. A good trade back to Hakuo as things start lighting up in the laning phase. This is where we need to see Liquid become a little, or come out a little bit stronger. EnVyUs had the early game every time. And only due to a Baron are we really in a game 3 here.
Lyra is going to come out empty-handed, though. He did a level 3 rush and was hoping to counter jungle Maokai. A lot of Maokai start Raptors or on red side and then move over to blue. So at least because of that,
Yeah.
Reignover kind of gets away with it, so to speak. More experience from camps by Reignover than Lyra this early in the game. There it is.
There's a lot of sounds. Not
Yes.
sure which one is which, but no one's a cat. All right, Lyra over to his blue now. They're pacing to their objective buffs pretty evenly on that sense. Good push in here from Piglet, as you would expect from the lane, and not really too much of a CS advantage given from it. Let's see if Matt actually starts to get a little more brush control here. It's such a hard lane to actually get an engage on, because either way, you kind of have a hook thrown and down, or Hakuo misses, and the pressure's relieved so much you can engage.
Yeah, I mean, at least the early laning phase for Matt and Piglet is much better than it has been in previous games.
Yeah.
Piglet got the shove very early on, and then Matt was able to get a good trade with his Flay, so much better early laning phase. If they can keep it shoved in like this, it's all they need. They just need to not fall behind by double-digit CS.
I like the plan. Just put it into action. So far up, just about 5 to clear, so he keeps up in 1. And now the roam from Matt. They've had push now to the turret twice. Matt's going to use this time to get around, but he was just seen by a dying ward. I think he also caught a clip of it there.
Got to see the ward debris. I remember when ward debris didn't exist. It's a pretty nice change as far as just information shared between people. I think it ends up creating a lot more action.
Absolutely. Definitely for support. It's flash blown and a repeat. This is kind of textbook of what Liquid has been doing. Continually go for Seraph. We would definitely expect to see them back from Reignover in a few minutes.
Yeah, if they'd had vision on Lyra, I think Reignover could have flashed for that. Because the setup for Maokai Jarvan is really strong. If Maokai flashes for the root, then Jarvan guarantees his EQ. Whereas doing it the other way around, not having the EQ damage on a gank can make a turnaround fairly likely. So now that Flash is down, can expect a return gank from Reignover most likely.
Storm Raider surge hype in the mid lane. You can see Niski with his ghost on as well, going hard as him and Golden Glue. Actually, Golden had to blow his heal there. So they go toe-to-toe. Actually, for the first time in the 3 games, they were very timid with each other's play, but this pulls Reignover over. He has that flash. Bramble smash as well, puts him right back into the range of Golden Glue. The teleports are not going to stop here. Finish from 1, Lyra just behind as well. But with Lorlo matching, they cannot follow that kill.
Also got to call out the mobility boots from the Maokai.
Oh yeah, he was cruising.
So fast, doesn't go for the Bomby Cinder. Fight breaks out though. What was Seraph up there for?
Holding on a little too long to that positioning, I believe. Felt he was safe enough with Lyra behind him. They do have a lot of damage, but 3v2, they still both get taken out. That is absurd.
Oh, Envy with the disaster in the mid lane early on in this game. Niski, okay, he does an early trade with Golden Glue and Reignover burns his flash for the kill. You're going to give that first blood over, but those last 2 kills, inexcusable by Lyra and Seraph. It was a 2 versus 3 without flash on the Rumble. Lyra also dying with his flash up, so just a series of errors by Envy give Liquid 3 early kills.
We said how tough this would be without tanks. If TL gets a lead early, we'll see how this kind of transpired.
Right, Golden Glue's a little low on mana, but it's still a Jarvan Maokai that are going to be able to win that 2v2. Golden Glue then levels up, gets his mana back. Lyra maybe just thought he wasn't going to die because he could have flashed back.
Interesting. That was a quick spike of damage at the end. But Liquid now moving quickly around the map. More so Golden Glue as he surfs himself back to mid. Reignover at the bottom side. If Piglet and Matt even need help, they've been able to hang out this time as the rest of the team is making quick work of Seraph, Lyra, and Niski. All three kills are just down the top side of that map. And that's going to mean the solo lanes of Liquid can definitely take off this game.
Yeah, and we've seen plenty of games before where Team Liquid has jumped out to early leads and not been able to close out to victory.
Yeah.
This time, though, they have a lot of CC and a strong front line with the Maokai and the Jarvan. Then they still have Piglet, who's bottom lane, winning this lane that Piglet and Matt have lost in games 1 and 2. So this is a very promising start for Team Liquid.
The BF sword actually matches up to the Zerker boots, or Greaves, I should say. It's quite nice. Once they start getting damage down in those fights, it will be the upper hand for Matt and Piglet. Ward wars in the mid lane on Pixel Brush. Hakuo, victory number 1. Scryer's Bloom goes up towards the top. We see work ground there from Golden Glue, so he's not too far away.
Now Matt hoping to make a play as the supports try and match roams with each other. Big first buy coming in for the marksman down in the bottom lane. BF sword versus just a bunch of components as Apollo works up towards Blade of the Rune King. No surprises there.
Focusing quite a bit around this dragon, though. Not the biggest objective to grab for the moment. Making sure they can keep eyes on Rain over Lyra here with the team. Fate's call to start things up. They got him on the jump. He's going to have to flash out if he's got it. And it is not up. Piglet could go down here. The last few shots go in. A hook onto Hakuo, and he can't battle dance yet. Just yet. There it is. Oh, Niski now in the mid lane getting hit up pretty hard. Deja vu for him as he goes down. Summoner's Ghost has been used.
Yeah, nice gank there by both teams using level 6 Kalista versus also a roaming Jarvan. Gotta ask, though, with Piglet, what keeps happening with that rocket jump? Because we've seen a lot of other Trists buffer that rocket jump so it does not get interrupted, but Piglet is jumping a little too early. The way the interaction works is if he saves the quarter-second cast time of the jump for when the Fate's call hits him, the jump will complete. But he is completing the quarter-second cast time, entering the movement, then getting hit by the knockup, and that's happened time and time again in this series. Then there's no summers on that mid laner, and Jarvan just roamed down through control ward. So not much Niski's going to do about that one without Seraph either matching or calling him IA.
Team Liquid capitalizing on this early game now.
Not the Kalista record you want.
No.
If you're Apollo. Could speak to why they banned it in game 2. Not wanting to have to play against it. But at the same time, Piglet seems pretty comfortable playing Trist into anything. So Envy wanting to find success with this pick that has been prioritized worldwide on this patch.
Especially with the first pick Thresh, they say, well, let's actually take that Kalista away from the Thresh. So they put that right into Apollo's hands almost on their own accord. TL with a nice pick ban phase to start off. Haunted Guys finished up for Seraph, slowly getting to those items that allow him to make an impact at these objectives. We've already had those guys teleporting around for one fight. It's already pretty early in the game. 4-1 as Liquid's getting these kills on the members. They really need it. We haven't even seen Lorlo come back from that 2-kill fight, really. Just an assist last time.
Yeah, he's going to be a very threatening Jarvan. And the thing about Jarvan against Rumble is when you get ahead, there's not much Rumble can do to run away.
Yeah.
So that 900 gold advantage on Seraph is huge for Team Liquid if they can successfully play around it.
Oh boy. An adventure.
Yeah.
Looks like they're going to actually pull away from that one without seeing anything in the mid lane and it being pushed. This is just kind of a roam when they have the time as the lane reset.
Operation Try and Tilt Piglet in full effect.
Oh, no, he's going to jump this time. He's going to be able to get out. Very nice Buster shot back. Does get the rocket jump, able to turn around, but he still steps forward to the fight. The ping pong with Piglet is just too much this game.
He lanterns into the Fate's call. Was trying to get out before it. It interrupts him. Still tries to jump away. There was no escape from that 4-man gang.
That is tough. He's trying to keep himself alive, but Envy has other thoughts in mind, and they're able to get that first objective is they move around the map. Repeat ganks to the bottom. Successful now for Envy.
Yeah, he's got no flash. Matt's waiting. He knows something's suspicious. Oh, man. The lantern's so fast, too. He didn't want to get super locked up and not be able to take the lantern, so he took it early. Just not his day. Not his day. Unless his team steals Baron, then it's his day. But when he's getting ganked, not his day.
So the rest of the team holding off, praising the bot lane of Team Liquid this time for going even. But I think going even drew a lot more attention from the side of Envy. Huge fast ganks. Every time Fate's Call is up, we've seen it use this game as an Ash arrow with the support, and that's continuously what they will do in the bot side. Blade of the Rune King almost finished up for the last few fights as Hakuo gets himself in trouble here, leaving his bot laner alone. Gets the safety. TL looking for small skirmishes around the map here. They know they have the picks, they know they have the tanks, and they can get Envy. These guys kind of just dissipate off the map immediately. A very squishy team.
Yeah, it's still a very close game.
Yeah.
Even with the disaster that happened in the mid lane early for Envy, losing 3 Niski, Lyra, and Seraph. The kills they've created in the bottom side, pull them back in it. Niski and Seraph are keeping their farm up. Lyra farming very well on Graves, going for that lethality build there.
Huh.
Staying in it.
Interesting, Seraph not completing the boots, actually going right for that Seeker's arm guard, saying, yeah, I want a little bit more armor for what Lorlo's going to be doing to this lane. He pushes that minion wave up to the turret and starts to roam down the river ever so slowly. Pings on him as Seraph knows where he's going.
Yeah, where the Jarvan roam's going to go and what ganks are Reignover going to find. The boots of mobility definitely speaking to a slightly different Maokai. You can either go kind of the hard farm Maokai where you go combat boots like Ninja Tabi or Merc Treads and just rely on that late game scaling, but Reignover with boots of mobility wasn't even actually going a farming style, instead trying to go a gank heavy style. Worked out decently because he did get that first blood and win the skirmish afterwards. Still behind Lyra in gold, however.
I'm waiting for this ultimate to lock down Envy. Let's see how they organize it. If you get Nature's Grasp coming at you, you can throw down a huge equalizer towards the other side of the fight. Is the scuttle worth it? Oh, baby! The twisted advance going from coast to coast for Seraph. Can't get out of that one once he's locked on. He's seeking
memories
Reignover.
of playing against Maokai.
Double rainbow as he gets the twisted advance onto Lyra. Nature's Grasp is a quick hug there. Oh, but now Reignover's in a sore spot, 3v1. And they cut the tree down real quick.
Yeah, Golden Glue had to bail because of Niski's aggressive angle that he took on that one. Lorlo caught just pushing up the top lane so they could not match the 3v3. Envy, even though it's Seraph who gets caught in the first place, kind of get the last laugh there. They get the kill return and regain control of their own jungle.
Whoa.
Hey, Rocket jumps away.
Got him.
We did it. Wasn't to dodge a Fate's Call, just managed to do it. But watching this one more time, Golden Glue doesn't even come close on his seismic shove, but the flash route from Reignover gets it in time for Seraph. Doesn't get that much damage down with Equalizer either. It's a good gank there by Golden Glue and Reignover.
Nice focus on vision. They can just get themselves back. This turret's not taking too much damage here on the bot side, which again, favoring Team Liquid a little bit to get Piglet all charged up. Is he actually about 700 gold in his pocket, so he left with a little to really solidify this next item as they try to get him through this phase. Rest of the map, things have slowed down for Lorlo as he has kind of been left alone against Seraph. Tabi's finished up for him with that armor since he's making sure he can keep himself alive. Actually make it to these fights.
Yeah, I mean, Lorlo's early game has been on point.
Yeah.
He's been 2-0 to start all 3 of these games. It's been what he does after the fact where he hasn't been as effective. He hasn't been able to utilize those leads. He's got to make that change this game if they want to win the match.
Nice cutoff. Hakuo can get an easy battle dance back if he just wants to toy with these guys, but it is the turret going down. Equalizer coming in from Seraph on the slow chase out. It looks like they may just trying to run him around here. It might mean a turret or something as TL backs, but Envy's trying to grab some map ground here.
Envy was really hoping to fight off that one, but Team Liquid killed the turret much faster than they expected. The Demacian standard from Jarvan for the attack speed, as well as the explosive charge from Trist, really burns down turrets quickly. And Envy couldn't make the rotation from the bottom lane up top fast enough and end up burning an equalizer and kind of wasting their time.
Sticking together too, they were like, can we maybe get one pick, maybe one hit, knowing that everybody's running around. It's just wards for them. And the vision is, Apollo is also on the bot lane trying to farm out. So he is for 20, 15 CS up, 15 or 20. You can put that in the right order. Have a pretty good lead for himself here, but like we said, Piglet still charging up. He can be very, very big this game.
Yeah, and the time would be now for Apollo and Hakuo to try and take a 2v2. They got Blade of the Ruin King. Piglet doesn't have any items completed. So you'd want actually them to send a few people down there to try and make something happen, but they have to respect the Jarvan's teleport.
Maybe a Fate's Call?
Keeping them in base. Fate's Call? Interrupt that rocket jump?
Maybe. I heard there's a pretty good chance it can happen. 8,500 left on the Rift Herald as they burn it straight down. Shelly will leave us one more game. And we'll see how EnVy puts this one to use.
Yeah, could just gank the top side and then go for the Rift Herald that is best used after a kill. Lorlo, though, should have control over that top side. Started with 2 kills, rushed to Black Cleaver. Duskblade for Lyra early on.
Of course. If you expect anything different. He's going to try to hide, but also be able to hide with that passive of Blackout, giving him 8 seconds of vision clearance, if you will. We'll see where he takes it. Right now, he's actually playing the, I'm going to slowly go bot here and figure out what actually is going on in the game before I move.
Yeah. I have the Rift Herald. I have a Duskblade.
Yeah.
I will fight.
It's like, I can't be seen back here. This is how it works, right? I am invisible to them.
Maybe hoping that Hakuo baits, but Rainover just started up the Drake.
Yeah, he knows he's been seen. Blackout from his Duskblade, and now he's just going to go ahead and throw it. They're going to try to control the path down to the bot. They say, if you guys want to go for Drake mid, we have Rift Herald.
So Lorlo and Golden Glue are trying to get a pick, but EnVy's actually pathing around a safe way.
Hold it still.
Control granted. They're just going to start this.
Interesting dance.
Yeah.
All right. Rift Herald picked up, EnVy moves across the map, are able to also grab that Drake, first one. Now they actually kind of just fizzled out the play, waiting to see where Rift Herald will be best used.
Yeah, I mean, it can still be used bottom lane if they want to here, as long as they send people down there. Lorlo's up top, finishing off that turret. Lyra could try and use it, but wants to make sure they have a numbers advantage first. He sees a Maokai, decides against it.
Oh, man. Almost going to be all 3 turrets to none here if EnVy cannot drop one.
Yeah, they're down 2,000 gold just now because of the pressure that just jumped over, and Rainover is kind of keeping this EnVy bottom lane at bay.
He's cruising ever so slowly behind this so he doesn't get seen. The Moby Boots moving almost the same time as they see the Ghost get taken out. Apollo and Hakuo do pull off. Damage to Lorlo on the top side. Lyra roaming back towards the jungle. If mid backs here, they might be able to get a push on. Get some use out of that.
I mean, the turret's just starting to fall right here. EnVy not making any proactive plays, and
this
all
could
of their
easily go down.
Is with Callista. So you'd want the Callista to throw in right now, but they just don't have the backup. I have to wonder how they've lost all this pressure in their other lanes. Pings across the board. Lyra's going to want to try and catch a fight down here, or at the very least, pop the Rift Herald down.
I'm actually
a minute left.
Trying to put a few steps to that. The loss of these lanes. Where did it go? Lyra found himself kills on the bot side, but nothing came of that. Here's finally the Rift Herald. Maybe they add a little bit of that pressure, but there's a big roam coming down right behind
Get the turret at least.
They're going to have to fight this one out as well. Dancing over to Matt, try to slow him down. Rainover's going to be right on top of the teleport that's coming in from Seraph. They have to get a great equalizer here to turn this one around, and it's going to be burning up Piglet, Lorlo, and Matt as he gives him a welcome mat. Hakuo's out as he gives himself a quick dash, and it looks like EnVy with the turret may be able to squeak out of this one, but the close play from Lorlo here, no threats. Cataclysm's there, but it's not going to hit, and they make it to the turret ever so slightly.
Woo, what a weird fight that was.
Lack of fight.
Yeah, everyone just kind of passes through each other and finds their way out. Apollo and Lyra both flashed Lorlo's EQ, but then Lorlo, who has ultimate, doesn't follow up with ultimate. I have to see why. So Golden Blue cuts off Niski. That stuffs the EnVy initiation, and that's when it looks like it's going to turn. And watch this, EQ, and then he's grounded, but he has no R. He doesn't chase through for an R, and that would have secured the kill. What you want to do is you want to burn your flash with the EQ, and then you want to jump on him. But he doesn't complete the last step.
I love seeing absolute prioritization right there. Lorlo and Niski literally walked by each other for a second. He's like, I don't need to deal with you right now. There's bigger issues going on. These fights are just a little weird right now. 5-3, 23 minutes in. Let's see who starts up the next one and who can actually close it out. There's only been nicks, cuts, and scratches happening. Nobody's really been able to throw down an ace and clear their way through the map. Right now, Envy is hoping for that because a lot of gold sits in these outer turrets. Apollo starts to drop when the team is now towards the top side.
Yeah, Envy swinging that gold back. Made it to the top lane, take down 2 of the 3 turrets that Team Liquid has. And so many flashes were burning that last fight. You'd think we'd get another one pretty soon as everybody bails over the blast code.
Envy had eyes, or sorry, Seraph had eyes on Lorlo, so no further initiation coming from that. And now Envy has kind of that true objective to go for. Something in the middle, that turret is there. How do they work around it though? And then continue on. Team Liquid now with the outer 3 turrets of Envy down, kind of weathering the storm here. Until Envy make their move.
Yeah, I mean, they have the scaling of the Cassiopeia as well, so it's not the same type of on-a-timer need for Envy to do stuff in this game. But they still have a lot of playmaking with the Callista and Rakan, which they would like to get value out of, even if it has a team comp with Cassiopeia for late game.
So Righteous Glory, Moby Boots, Maokai. Let's go. Gotta go fast.
Yeah, gotta go fast, but will melt to the Cassiopeia when he's in there, as well as the Rumble. So really needs to get magic resist soon.
Clear on vision. Hakuo creeping up on the left side, trying to get a bit of vision in there. I call those breadcrumb wards, something around Baron. If you leave or get chased into it, you're already going to have vision there that you left. And they're just creating that environment of safety if anything does happen.
And for a brief moment, everyone on Team Liquid had 4 items. I have almost never seen that in a game. They all went back to buy now and are filling it up with control wards and other components, but I was just really distracted by that for a second. I was thinking, why do their inventories look so empty? Because everyone had completed items up to a point, and they'd used all their control wards and they had nothing extra. Anyway, now they at least have control word spots for everyone.
Fascinating.
Yeah.
I like it. As we hit 25 minutes, see where they put that vision. It has to be controlled, or not controlled, but protected at this point, or it's just a waste of money. The initiation can come from quite far here from Apollo and Hakuo. We've seen the Fates Call be what takes down Piglet time and time again. So I don't expect them to hold it back the next time they can use it.
Yeah, Drake coming up. Envy has dominated Drakes this series. And would Team Liquid try and sneak a Baron? That would be just the thing to potentially get them this match win. Envy's not going to have any of it, though. They know it's a chance. They see Rainover. He goes for the fight.
Oh, Rainover gets the entirety. Nature's Grasp goes down. It's going to hit 4 members. Saris on the other side. Flame Splitter inside of his Zanyas, which is good. He breaks the wall. It's only slows for the rest of the team as he takes the full amount of damage. Lyra pulling back, and again, both teams size each other up before anything too catastrophic happens.
And I think Rainover overcommits there.
Oh, agreed.
You're a Righteous Glory Flash, man. You can get there, but what about your team? They do not have Righteous Glory and Flash at the same time as you. So sure, he got the initiation for himself, but then immediately had to retreat.
And the thing is they're supposed to have Righteous Glory. They just weren't in that distance. It's like, that's not going to help me. 43.6 to 42.4. We'll see if they can get on that next time. Won't have Flash up, so they probably will. There they are. Goes in, doesn't even have to use the Righteous Glory this time. No Zanyas for Seraph. All those activatable items, you have to remember, they're down as well as the summoners, and it makes the fight much different the second time around.
Team Liquid playing around the Baron control. That was much nicer than the first time. They have a lot of Baron's Fret, but they're hoping to get picks with Thresh. Lorlo with no TP trying to push up the side lane. Does diminish their Baron's Threat a fair bit.
Quicksilver staff
Maybe a
for
flank
Apollo.
fight. It's a 4v5. Lorlo can get his ult on someone.
Gonna be the only one to walk down there, Lyra? I didn't think so. He quickly turns around. He says, Wolf Camp? I don't think that's worth. Plus, there's a Baron on the map right now. We need to control some of this vision towards topside. That's big. They see the ward placed down. They say, we have a moment. We have a Niski. Apollo now getting his Quicksilver Sash on. A little bit of help here from Hakuo as they battle dance together and get to safety. But those are summoners down. And Team Liquid is slowly whittling down what Envy can use to win these fights.
And Envy just can't seem to get control of this Baron area. And they are getting picked off by the Maokai, Jarvan, and Thresh the more they are denied this vision. So unless they get all 5 people up at the same time, TL is going to continue to go for these. Who's next? There's Leowall.
Golden Glue, put it down.
One is next.
Yeah, we cut him off.
Yeah, Righteous Glory down, Flash down. All their initiations are less powerful.
Yeah.
Time to reset. So Envy gets out of that starve situation. Now everyone has control wards. They know Team Liquid is going to be in recall patterns, and they can get control back.
Seraph's Embrace clicking in for Niski. A little more survivability in these fights for himself. It's going to be power and numbers now, really, just across the map for teams. Apollo is going to always have Hakuo by him. You might see that Seraph and Lyra team working together if he ever has to come in. Right now, working the split push, trying to draw pressure from Lorlo as that teleports down. Seraph's going to look to try and keep that lane nice and pushed.
Yeah, as long as they have the wave shoving and they have vision over the Baron area, they are free to go where they please. So they opt for a much different strategy than Team Liquid. It's partially because they don't have as many tools to get picks. So sometimes the game can go in cycles around Baron Pit where one team has vision control, go for picks, they have to recall. The other team takes vision control, and then the same cycle happens on the other side. Here, though, all Envy does is they place wards to go take an objective because they want in-vision fights as much as possible. That's why they're trying to keep the game around the mid lane.
Seems like a bit of hesitation. Righteous Glory goes down. They say, actually, we like this play. We've separated it completely from one side, and this is that Baron jockey. They know where all of the members of Envy are right now, and this is the possibility for that catch potential. Seraph will be seen on the bot side with teleport.
Yeah, Reignover's flash will be back up in a few seconds. They see Seraph in the bottom lane, so they're just going to keep running this play. They need to find a break open moment. So they either need to rush Baron, or they need to get multiple people with a kill, or with their pick, rather.
Who can even afford to ward that brush? Getting over the wall, you get Twisted Advance. Scryer's Bloom, just missing.
Yeah, their Baron isn't that fast with Tristalia Jarvan, but it is pretty quick still. So Envy does often feel compelled to go check. Team Liquid tries to get mid-priority to get rid of that Sentinel, and they need to go. The problem is, they haven't been pressuring Envy that much, so Envy has 2 blue trinkets that they can expend before face-checking if they want to.
Yeah. But it also didn't stack up, so it's going to be pushing away right now.
Baron start, though. Where are the blue trinkets? You have them. You got to use them. That one got used. They're spotted. Now Envy's going in.
They're just on the edge, watching Lyra to go over the wall. That's Lyra stealing the Baron. He gets it back. A little bit of redemption for Envy, but can they take the fight? Hakuo goes down immediately, and I feel like they call back and they say, work the waves. We've got what we need for now.
Oh, man. Lyra makes it in with the quick draw over the wall for a steal. Reignover gets a steal. Lyra's going to get one back. TL had no tools to super secure this one, though. And since the Farsight Totem did give Envy vision, they knew they could pile in. Lyra still a very impressive steal on Graves, and they keep this game in a winnable state.
Adaptus Helm starting to come through for Reignover, denying a bit of Niski's damage. We'll see this one more time as Lyra...
Yeah, he was blind.
904.
He blindly went in there. It was an auto attack and a smite to get that.
Yep, because he's at 850 right now, so he needed to hit it.
Wow. Couple of unlikely Baron steals today, but
absolutely.
Everything evens out in the end. Justice is restored to the universe of Baron steals.
There's more game, Jat.
Yeah.
Can't seal the deal on that one just yet. Envy gaining that top control. Have a little bit of time here. It'll be crazy if they can work the 6.7 thousand Baron buff that TL did. It seems like Envy is going to see work what they can, and that might just mean this mid turret as well as advancing the waves. But that's almost equal to the amount of money that Liquid got in advantage right now.
Yeah.
Envy was backs against the wall, and this is great.
Yeah, right back in the game. Team Liquid could still look to try and get a fight with Righteous Glory and a Maokai initiation, but they got to be a little bit careful against Cassiopeia. If they don't catch that, if they don't catch Graves, who's building up a bunch of lethality, and there's really not that much armor on Reignover or Lorlo, so the lethality build is still pretty effective for Lyra. He's sitting at 52 armor penetration at this stage in the game. Piglet only sitting on 71 armor, so if Lyra gets to him, it will be a swift death.
Especially if he's close up with all the buckshot. Take each one of those to the face. We will see mid lane pressure here. Envy's just setting up to clear the wave. They're not saying we're going to use this too extravagantly. So this actually feels pretty good, so we can get some breathing room and reset everything we need to on the map. Still very big pick potential here coming from Team Liquid. Baron's not like it used to be. Doesn't make you big and strong. And we will see the wave clear isn't the greatest here on the side of TL if Piglet's not there. So if they can get a push in with 1 minute, they may be able to do some work.
Yeah, and we kind of mentioned it in Champion Select, how Envy doesn't have that many tools for initiation, and we're kind of seeing that here. Only 3 kills in the 34-minute game. All of it does cycle around Apollo and Hakuho, and Hakuho goes down. He's real squishy.
I think this is how they do it, right? They fight over wards. Yeah. They find that one position where they might be able to battle dance somebody in or get an entrance.
That's how they hope to do it for sure. Chance we're in for a long one here if Envy has kept the goal close, and Team Liquid not as decisive as they would want to be around Baron with their pick team.
Top's gonna need a bit of love soon. Seraph actually already backed. See that on the mini map. And once they see Seraph, there may be an activation here from Team Liquid. Make sure the wards are around Envy for the placement of Seraph to come back. Let's see how they work this.
Yeah, might be able to get a flank, but they don't have Seraph with them, so they can't actually be that aggressive with their engage. They're basically just trying to stop Liquid from clearing the mid turret.
That's great. Nice little yo-yo back and forth. We want to fight you, we don't want to fight you. But Seraph is also not still pushing the top here, so it looks like they may want to try to activate. Seraph says, I have golden glue. Is there a pinch we can make?
And Elder Dragon is up. 35 minutes in, it's pretty much the earliest possible spawn for the Elder Dragon. Much more value for Envy to take this. They might try and force a Team Liquid initiation, but they have to make sure they can't get cut off by the Taliyah ultimate. Seraph's got to get close fast.
Very smart play. Pixel brush without the distance of another opponent will draw Dragon up. They figured out Lorlo's in there, and now they are positioned. Left, right of the Dragon Pit. Wall goes down. That still means Lyra can get over for the smite, but he's without a team. If he does so, they back off at 5,500.
Yeah, I mean, Apollo lost his Ren Spear, so they do not have a reliable secure for this Drake as of now. Healed a little bit. It reset about 1,000 health, so still not much Ren stacking. This Ren probably doesn't secure over a smite.
Scryer's Bloom was just hit. They have full vision of what's on the backside of Envy's line. Where does the smite come through? Lorlo trying to distract. Reignover's there as well, getting turned into a scratching post. At this point, Tristana grabs it. Piglet picks up Elder Drake, saving a 3 Elder over from Envy. What's the fight gonna be, though? Lorlo goes down, and that's as well. Reignover falling just before, as Envy looks to make it out with the big objectives and their members.
The 0 elemental Drake Elder is held by Team Liquid. They want to pick off Envy here before they can recall. It's a 5v3. They'd have to be very careful where they go. Piglet wants it. He's full health.
Oh, that is very, very scary. The explosion's not going to do too much. They get the shields on. And Piglet stealing it away. This guy right here saving the day from a 3 Elder Envy.
And we talked about how the Ren wasn't going to be a reliable security. It just didn't have enough time to get the stacks into the Elder Dragon. Then the fight also erupted, so everything's resetting and everything's getting very confusing. At the end of the day, it's just Piglet. We'll have to see if he got it with an auto attack or with an explosive charge blast. But either way, if that fight opens up for Envy and they have the triple elemental Elder, the true damage they did could have pushed him over the top. So game-changing play right here. Piglet just kind of poking it on the outside as the fight starts, focusing on the Elder Dragon. Piglet just...
Yeah, he threw it on.
Lyra smote early. It was at 9:23. Smites, and the auto attack of Piglet finishes it off. So doesn't time it once again, and it looked like Rainover wasn't even in contention for that steal. He was fully about the fighting. So again, with the Callista team, Envy fails to secure a major objective, and Seraph is caught.
Out of the way, everybody! Golden glue to the top side. That was great. His team's like, we're coming. He's like, I don't want to wait for you guys.
Yeah.
Team Liquid feeling good right now. As they keep pulling the trigger, they try to get some damage there onto Seraph. And as well as pulling the trigger, they're running Envy a little ragged around the map, and they're able to start things off one step ahead. Now on to Baron.
All right, round 2. Last time it was stolen by Lyra. Piglet got the Elder. They still have a slight buff.
Again, Lyra's actually on the far side of this one. He's going to reposition 5,600 onto the Baron. Matt's just on the side looking for a hook. He can throw it in and basically hit anybody in this situation. Equalizer goes down. Damage now going over to Lorlo, but he's not going down. Rainover falls. A stun hitting up onto Niski, and he gets blasted down. Shots coming in from Piglet. They lose Apollo, and then Golden Glue goes down. It's a back and forth, but TL's got the member win on this side. The power play to Liquid as they continue to take down members of Envy. And we almost have our first ace, but it's 4 kills coming in for Team Liquid.
And Team Liquid think they have a chance of at least getting the inhibitor right now. They have 4 dead, 440. This game has gotten quite late. They still have Piglet, and he takes turrets like paper. So here goes Team Liquid. How much can they get?
Back off, make sure Lorlo's that first one up there, if at all. And one goes down on the
25
inhib.
seconds. These are the situations where you wonder if they can go for the game. It is just...
Oh, you have to be kidding me. They're looking to go a little bit harder. Hakuo trying to stop the damage. The minions are right there, and they're taking the turrets. 39 minutes in, it's Team Liquid going for broke. Hakuo to stave off a bit of the damage with the pop-up, and Piglet stands true with the rest of his team. There's nothing that Envy can do, and Team Liquid turn on the afterburners to pull out a Game 3 win.
Liquid take the series over Envy. Only their 3rd match win of the split, and they are the ones to halt Envy's winning streak. Rainover in Game 1, a miraculous Baron steal against Cho'Gath and Callista. This game, it's not even Rainover who gets a Baron steal. He gets Baron stolen against him, but Piglet takes Elder Dragon with an auto attack.
Reminiscing of the Piglet Corky.
This is a series that Envy's going to want to do over on, because they had control of Games 1 and Games 2, and they had the Elemental Drake lead in Game 3 and missed the smite. Then they lose one fight, and it ends because of Tristana. They probably had control for 80% of this series.
Yep.
But it's Liquid who gets the win.
Incredibly tough to go through as well. Seeing how the lanes went, Lyra and the Fate's calls that they put onto Piglet in the bot lane, continuously hitting him out of the rocket jump. But they continuously just went back to that Tristana for Piglet throughout this series, for him to carry on that if it ever went towards the late game. And they were able to actually play very well to Lorlo on the top side as well throughout the series. He's been having some great games for them.
Yeah, Lorlo getting ahead in every single game early.
Yeah.
Finally had some impact in that late game team fight of Game 3. And
thumbs up from
we saw that cheeky smile by Matt at the end. Got to call out his hook onto Niski in the final fight was super clutch. We'll probably have a replay of that fight at some point, but Niski flashed out of Lorlo's Cataclysm. He was behind Seraph, and Matt just charged up a hook. Seraph Zonia's, it goes through him, hits Niski.
Pie to the
Niski
face.
dies. Without that pick in that fight, Niski can potentially clean up, because he's a late game Cassiopeia with 4 items right now.
Yep.
Doesn't even get off his Seraphs in that last fight because he was chain CC'd from the Thresh. And then Team Liquid kind of take the rest of it. So really clutch hook and a clutch moment for Matt, who obviously didn't actually have that great of a series. They lost lane in Games 1 and 2, finally got his hands on Thresh in Game 3, and they pulled it out against a lot of odds. They were losing for most of the series.
A lot of that was jockeying for position at the end there for them. So Liquid have to take a good
good feelings
words,
away
good
from that.
feelings.
I mean,
and knowing that their objectives can be played in that situation and that they can actually get a win off of that, because every game is at some point going to come to an objective.
Yeah, crazy.
So for first-hand account on that hard-fought series, let's hear from Degon and the Team Liquid mid laner.
Thank you very much, Riv. I'm joined by the human vault boy himself. It's Golden Glue. Hey, man, that was a big game. You got to flex on him there. Talk me through the game so far.
Yeah, so that game, I'm pretty comfortable in Talia. When I went to the Korean boot camp, I played like over 150 Talia games, so I'm pretty comfortable on the champion and the matchup I know pretty well. And I was able to get the resources I needed to help snowball and snowball our team, so it just turned out pretty good.
So tell me a little bit, when Baron kind of got stolen away, was there a little bit of stalling in the team? This season hasn't been the best. Was there any regrets?
There's a little worry, but not much. I mean, of course, you're going to be a little worried when the opponent gets Baron, but I was still extremely strong, and we had a really good scaling comp with Tristana. So I wasn't too worried. It was just kind of like we had to stop our snowball and just defend for a little bit.
So for you this season, it's kind of been an up and down, a tough road. How do you continually get yourself prepared game after game?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty hard. We haven't had the ideal split, but I don't know. I just really enjoy what I'm doing. I really enjoy playing competitive, and I see a long future. So I try not to let the present, affect me too much.
Well, that's a good outlook, and part of that outlook is your game against Phoenix. One later, a possibly winning game. How do you rate them as a team, and how do you want to go ahead and take this momentum from this game into that one?
They're looking pretty strong. They took a pretty convincing game off Cloud9, even though they had an early deficit. But I'm looking forward to it. I really want to face Mike Young and see if he's what everyone's hyping up to be.
Well, you also got to play Pyrian last time you played Envy. Do you have any insights in that matchup?
I'll win.
Ooh, I'll win. All right, so tell me a little bit why you think you're going to win. I mean, I think the game that you played, you pulled out Lucian, and that didn't go too well. But what makes you think you're going to win in this one?
I got camped really hard, but this time I'm going to bring my jungler too, and we're gonna win.
All right, so solid words there from him. I believe that we're going to go ahead and send this one back on over to the analyst desk without the desk with Dash and Mark.
The analyst desk without the desk. Thank you very much, Degon. Victory for Team Liquid here. Smiles across all of the faces when that victory came through. We saw hugs. They're very happy with this win. It's going to be a feel-good win, even if it didn't come in the cleanest of fashions.
It was a hard-fought battle. I mean, you got to give some credit to them because they are playing Envy. This is a pretty respectable team.
Absolutely.
They were, tied for that fourth-place spot. And it was a situation where they were playing against a lot of weird champions because when you're looking at the meta, like you can see, Lethality Graves makes some sense, and Rakan Kalista is strong, and Cassio's good, and in the right situation, sometimes you see Rumble, but when you put all of them together,
say, individually, every single one of these champions, I'm like, yeah, that's a good champion, that's a good champion. But when we gave crap to Team Liquid earlier for their 7-13 comp,
right.
I don't know what patch we're in when this is the comp that you end up with, only because, as was mentioned by Jet, we saw so many of the struggles by not having a front line, by not having easy engage, aside from being able to throw a Rakan in and looking for that knockup.
Even though the engages out of Rainover weren't the cleanest, they still had the utility of just being able to use, that righteous glory and run at them. And,
right.
and there's no one on this team who can really do that. The best you can do is just throw the Rakan in, but he doesn't have the defensive tools to really live. He's just going to get blown up.
Absolutely. There is a point when Flash W from a Maokai is effective, and we do see it a couple times throughout this game. All that said, Team Liquid also found some early advantages, and I want to take a look at a few of those moves they made early on, particularly in the mid lane. 540 in, 3 for 0 in favor of Team Liquid. Maybe some messiness here out of Envy handing more kills over than they need to.
It starts out pretty well with that kill going in their favor. They complete the teleport in, and this is a situation where Envy just kind of needs to back off. I guess when they started this, they didn't assume that Maokai would still be around, but he's in the area enough given the fact they both just escaped out to the right side, so it's a very easy re-engage here. Seraph has no flash up. He's able to get focused down. He's almost able to turn back on a Golden Glue, but he's still pretty healthy overall. Just a complete kind of what are you thinking moment for Envy.
Also peculiar just because both of them are level 5. I see it differently if you've got a level 6 Graves and a level 6 Rumble because of those ultimates being able to zero somebody out. Perhaps you turn a 2v3, but in this situation, ill-advised to stick around in that lane and take that fight.
It's one of the things too we were talking about in between game 1 and game 2 for Envy playing less of a snowball comp, just saying as the game goes on we think we'll execute better. This complete loss of mentality of that regard where you're opting opting into a 2v3 situation around mid lane when you could have just said, all right, that was a good gank by Team Liquid. We're going to go find our own opportunity in the next minute or two.
Exactly. All right, so a couple early kills go over to Team Liquid. This is the kind of situation where we're looking at a team, we're saying, all right, you've got all the tools to close this out cleanly. That did not happen in this game. And so when we talk about, while it is a feel-good win for beating a team that's well above you in the standings, they're going to go back and look at these tapes, and they're still going to have a lot to learn from in terms of how they could have been better with their execution.
It's one of those weird things where, like, it depends on your expectations a little bit, where, like, if this is a win for, you know, let's say C9 or even Envy won this series in this regard, you look and you go, oh, they can't feel too good about that one. But if for your Team Liquid and you're at the bottom of the barrel and you're trying to get out of a...
Scrap them out however you can get them, man.
Yeah, you got to be happy with every win that you get. All these are very important to your standings at the end of the split, because it does feel like there is going to be a little bit of a clump down at the bottom there, and they might actually be able to claw their way out, despite how I think a lot of people and fans have started to just assume, well, Team Liquid was the worst team in the league. They're no longer clearly that case based off the actual match record.
Absolutely. I want to push us ahead to our game ender, because we had a whole lot of messiness. We had a Baron steal, we had an Elder Drake steal, all kinds of craziness, but it comes down to this 5v5 right here.
And you see some of the lack of, you know, coordinated Maokai ult usage. In a lot of situations here, we expect them to just drop the Maokai ult, zone away the no frontline team comp of Envy. None of them can afford to get hit by that ability, and then if they do, they get focused down. Instead, for some reason, Reignover always starts charging in by himself and then dropping the ultimate backwards.
Right.
It's pretty effective in terms of the likelihood of hitting more targets, but while you're charging in, you get chunked out down to below half health, so you almost always die, and you're not able to use some of that Maokai stickiness that makes him so hard to actually kill in a team fight. Either way, it still works out well enough, because as Jap pointed out, a bit of a miracle hook there by Matt, hits onto Niski, pulls him in. They're able to burn down the largest late game threat on the side of Envy.
I mean, maybe Reignover knows something we don't, but if you're looking to play Maokai, I would point you to Series 1 of this evening. Look at Impact, the way that he's using the ultimate. Yes, he's telegraphing that the fight is going to start by casting it, but again, it gives you so much more permission to move forward with confidence than trying to make that flash W play and hope that you can catch everyone on the back end with the ult.
It's obviously a champion that has a bit of nuance in how you start things out. If an enemy's out of position, a flash W is much better because they don't have time to react to it.
Yes.
If it's a set objective situation like that, 5v5, you're staring at each other and they don't have a good frontline member, shoot that ultimate at them. They're gonna run away, burn the Baron down, and then you can reset and play slower from there.
For Team Liquid, though, Golden Glue's going to pick up player of the game. He did have the highest kill participation on the team, playing that Talia. We didn't show this replay, but to me, the most telling moment was a skirmish in the bot lane. He had a fantastic Talia wall to keep Niski out of the fight, and it was a situation where that Cassio DPS coming through may have been enough to turn it, and he effectively made him useless.
Right, because it was a pretty nice engaged start off by Apollo and Hakuho. They did land the, you know, kind of Kalista Rakan combination of CC. I think it was Piglet or Matt.
Yep.
But then there was, like you said, a lack of damage follow-up with the fact that Golden Glue was able to cut out some of that backline. A really nice game out of him overall.
And good on him. That will be a confidence boost for him. Then, the next thing I want to recognize is how this roster and this Team Liquid team is developing, because remember that this 5 is the 5 that they started the split with. It's gone through a number of changes and iterations. It's important to note that their record on this team, 6-14 with this roster specifically, with their other rosters combined, so any other iteration of Team Liquid roster, only 2-11. So while none of this is to say that, oh, crazy impressive stats, it is to say that while they struggle, they do seem to be performing best with this roster than any other.
When they started the season and they lost their first couple series, the whole kind of community, including us, were very critical of the fact that they brought the same 5 members together, but it does speak to the fact that there was something here that does work. And even if you do have all these other options available, whether it's because they've played the longest together or they actually are the 5 best players you can field at this point, I think you can see that going forward, this probably is the lineup Team Liquid should stick with.
All right, well, let's take a look at how the day's games affected the standings. We still got our 3-way tie in first, but with their loss, Team Envy dropped to 7-6 alongside Cloud9 in 5th, and Team Liquid bump up to 9th place next to Phoenix 1. Now we return tomorrow with more league action. If you tune in on NALCS 1, your day starts with TSM versus Team Dignitas, followed by FlyQuest opposite Immortals in the Battle Arena. Over on NALCS 2, Counterlogic Gaming hope to maintain possession of first place against Echo Fox, then Phoenix 1 and Team Liquid face off later in the day. Any key matchups here that you're looking at for tomorrow?
TSM Dignitas, of course. I mean, two of the closest in standings that are playing each other, as well as the fact that Dignitas had a great 2-0 last week. We said it was maybe due to some new shenanigans, but this time around, if they're able to find some more stuff on 7-14, it's a very volatile patch. You see people really struggling to know with exactly where they should focus their bans and picks early on.
I mean, if you're you're playing Nunu, I have to imagine you're playing Cho'Gath. Again, when we talk about Dignitas around the Baron this split, they have done very well with the likes of Nunus and Kallistas. You're just adding one more champion to the table that can effectively do the same thing.
And the thing that's kind of nice about it is that we also were saying that Dignitas are playing a lot of Callista as well, but there's so many other things that have risen up in priority that Callista has been slipping through the ban phase a little bit more, at least early on in 7-14 draft phase. So people are worried more about the Cho'Gath and the Maokai and all these other things, and then Callista still seems to get through more often.
All right, TSM will want to grab hold of first place officially, and for Dignitas, they want to keep that run going hot. For myself, though, the casters and the entire live broadcast crew, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow for more North American LCS. Good night.